Okay, so graphing curves. So, sounds horrible. Exactly the same process as graphing straight lines. So we've got y equals x squared minus 4x. Okay, so if you were asked to draw a quadratic, which is what this is because we've got x squared, you would have a box. Sometimes they give you a box, sometimes not. More often than not, they're going to give you a box like this, and again, more often than not, they're going to put some values in and leave you to fill in the rest. Okay, so again, I'm a great one for believing in keeping things simple, so I work at my positives first. So we just go through this the same as before. 5 has already been done for us, so now we've got x equals 4. So y equals, so x is 4, so 4 squared minus, and we've got 4x, which is 4 times x, so that's 4 times 4. That's all there is to it. So 4 fours are 16 minus 4 fours 16. So 16 take away 16 is 0. So y equals 0. Okay, now there is a pattern to this as well. So again, I'll show you as it starts to appear. So 3 has been done for us. So now we go to where x is 2. So x is 2. So y equals, so we just substitute in the values for x. So 2 squared minus 4 lots of 2. So 2 squared is 4 minus 4 twos are 8. So if I've got £4 in the bank and I draw out £8, then I'm left with a £4 overdraft. So I've got minus 4. So I've got minus 4. Now I go to 1. Now at this point I can already see the pattern, but you'll see this as when I do this. So x is now 1. So y equals 1 squared minus 4 lots of 1. Okay, because all we're doing is we're substituting into this equation. So 1 squared is 1, because 1 times 1 is 1, minus 4 times 1 is 4. So 1 minus 4, I've got £1 in the bank, I draw out 4, that's going to leave me at minus 3. So I've got minus 3. Now if we just look at these numbers, okay, we've got 5, then we've got 0, then minus 3, then minus 4, then minus 3 again, and then we've got 0. Okay, so it's going 0 down to minus 4, and then it's going up again to 0, which is what you would expect, because the line is going down and then it's coming up again. So the middle part, so say it was this line, the middle part has bottomed out here at minus 4. Okay, and we can see here that on the y numbers it's bottomed out at -4. So the line has come down from 0 to -3 to -4. Now the line is going up again. So it goes to -3, the same as it has here. It's then gone to 0, the same as it has here. So if it's come down from 5, it will go back up to 5, okay? What goes down goes back up. So you can see that there is a sequence, okay? So I wait until it bottoms out and then just check that I have equal numbers, and I know then that the numbers will reflect one another, okay? So don't worry, I will do another one just to show you that it works again. So now we've filled this out, okay? So then it says which of the 3 curves drawn matches the graph of x squared minus 4x. Now all we need to do with this is find out which of these lines has these coordinates, okay? So if we go to 5, 5, okay, so we go along to 5 and then we go up to 5, we can see that 2 of the lines hit that point, okay? The blue and the brown line both go up to that point, but the pink line doesn't, so it can't be line A. Now if we go to where x is 4 but y is 0, okay, so x is 4 and y is 0, okay, because y goes up 1, 2, 3, 4 and goes down -1, 2, 3. So here on the x-axis, x is 0, and we can see that the brown line doesn't quite make it, but the blue line does. So we can see that the line for y equals x squared minus 4x is line B, okay? Now we could, let's just check it again. Oh yes, let's. So x is 3, y is -3. So x is 3 and y is -3. Okay. Now, coincidentally, both lines hit that point as well. Okay. Now I'm still sure it's the blue one, but just to make double sure, I'll go to the next point. So x is 2, y is -4. So x is 2 and y is -4, and you can see there that only the blue line goes through there, so we were right, it is line B. Okay, so finding the line is easy because you just find a line that's on these points. Okay, so I'm just going to pause the video and I'll pull up another question from MathsWatch. Okay, so we've got another question, smaller bar this time, and complete the tables for y equals 2x squared plus x. So we've got y equals 2x squared plus x. Okay, so we need the value 2. Okay, so y will equal, so it's 2x squared, so that's 2 lots of x squared, so that's 2 times, and x is 2, so that's 2 squared plus x, which is 2. Okay, so remember your BODMAS, so order, that's the power, must be done first. So 2 squared is 4, and 2 4s are 8, plus 2, and 8 plus 2 gives us 10. So that goes in there. Okay, so now we go to where x is 0, and this is really easy. If x is 0, then that's 2 lots of 0 squared plus 0. Well, 0 squared is nothing times nothing, which is nothing, and 2 lots of nothing is nothing, plus nothing. So nothing plus nothing is nothing, or as we mathematicians call it, 0. So now we can't really see a pattern here at the moment. We can see that it's starting at 10, it's gone down to 3, it's gone down to 0, but it's gone up to 1. So this number is going to be greater than 1 because we know it's going up again. But we do have to work this one out. Okay, so y equals 2 times minus 2 squared plus, because it says add whatever x is, minus 2. Okay, because x is minus 2. So then y will equal, now if you square any number, positive or negative, you will always get a positive answer. Okay, so if we were to square minus 2, that will be minus 2 times minus 2. And remember, a minus times a minus gives us a plus. And 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 squared would also give us 4. So can you see there that if you square a negative or square a positive, you will always get a positive answer. So x squared, or minus 2 squared, gives us plus 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now here it said add x, and x is minus 2, so we've got to add minus 2. Now, like two similar terms, or two, if the signs are the same, you always get positives. If the signs are different, you always get negative when you multiply, or if they can touch. So these two can touch. So a plus and a minus gives us a minus. So we've got a minus 2, which gives us 6. So we can put in 6 into there. Okay, even if you didn't put that in and you drew the line, you'll be able to see where the curve is going to go anyway. Okay, so don't worry too much about this if you can't get one value, because the line will follow a set direction anyway. Okay, so now we've got to work out which of these three curves matches the graph of this. So again, always start with the positive, make it easy. So we want a line that goes to this point. So if x is 2 and y is 10, so x is 2 and y is 10. and we can see only B goes to that point. Okay, so we can see that B is our answer. Okay, so this is slightly more complex, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. If you have any problems, 9 times out of 10 it's the sign, but usually you will have a point, say, where x is 0, that if this is 3, this is 3. If this is 10, this will be 10. Okay, this doesn't happen to do it, but a good 75% of them will. Okay, so I'm going to go on to the next question. Okay, so the graph of y equals x squared plus 4x plus 3 is shown. Okay, so they've already drawn the graph in for you. Okay, what are the coordinates of the turning point? The turning point is where the curve literally turns. Okay, so here is the turning point. Okay, so all we've got to do is give them the coordinate. Now remember, coordinates are always written, so we put it in brackets and x comes first, a comma, and then the y value. Okay, so x here is -2 and y is -1. And that's it. That really is it. Okay, then it says, what are the coordinates of the root of an equation? Now when you've been doing algebra, you've been working out, for example, let's say we've got x squared plus 8x plus 15. Okay, and they say factorise, so I know that this is x plus 5 and x plus 3. Okay, so that's that equation factorised. And if they say solve it, then you take the number and you change the sign. So instead of +5, it becomes -5. And the same here, x will equal, take the number, change the sign. Okay, this is always the case, never changes. So we get x equals -5 and x equals -3. Now these are what we call the roots. Okay, these are the solutions, and we call them the roots. Now what we mean by that is, if I just sketch a little graph here, if I was to draw the graph of x squared plus 8x plus 15, okay, I would get this curve. And by working this out, you will see that when you draw it, the line will cut the x-axis in two places. It will cut the x-axis at -3, and it will cut the x-axis at -5. Okay, so this is what the roots are. is where it cuts the x-axis. So to find the roots of the equation, we just go to where the graph cuts the x-axis. Okay, so it cuts the x-axis at -1, but it says the coordinate, so we've got to put it in this form. So remember, x always comes first, so it cuts the x-axis at -1, and where y, you can see anywhere on the x-axis y is 0, so we can put in 0. And again it cuts here at -3, and at the y-axis again, because it's on the x-axis, y is 0, so that's 0. And there you go, you've answered the 2 questions. So the turning point is the peak of the curve, and the roots are where it cuts the x-axis. Okay, if they'd have said give the 2 solutions, then you would just say, okay, x equals -1 and x equals -3. Okay, but sometimes they say give the coordinates, so you just have to get used to writing the coordinates. Okay, so I hope that's helped a little bit, and I will do a second part of graphing curves. Okay.